Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this isn't one of my scheduled videos, just a little side note. I got a call from my daughter the other day, and she began to ask me some very mature and grown-up questions about life and some of the things she's experiencing and seeing in school and in her neighborhood and on social media and all these things. And she wanted my perspective on some things, which was very, very exciting for me as a father, that my young daughter would come to me and ask me those questions. I just really felt this comfort inside that she knows that I'm here for her and can ask these questions. And we began to talk about, happiness, and some of these questions, her take on it was that, I just want people to be happy. I just think that people should be able to do what makes them happy as long as it's not hurting anyone else. And I realized, yes, you know what, I want that too for people. I want them to be happy as well. Then I started to think a little bit more, and I just realized, that the happiness is so superficial. It comes and goes. It's so surface level. There's no depth to happiness. You can be happy eating a piece of cake. When the cake is going, your happiness goes right with it. There's happiness is so temporary. It's so unfulfilling, happiness. So it's so dependent on outside influences. You have the right mate at one given time, and you're happy, and then they break your heart and that happiness is gone. Or you get a new house and you're happy, and then you're living it for a few years and that happiness is gone. There's so many different things. An addict may get a big sack of drugs and they're happy temporarily, and once it's gone, so is the happiness. And happiness is just so unfulfilling. There's this thing that I have. It was something that rose up in me when my daughter called and spoke to me, and that was this joy. There's this joy. It's so much better than happiness. Joy is not temporary. You can have joy in the most unhappy circumstances. I know people who are locked up that have joy. I know people who are in the hardest of circumstances who have joy. And whereas happiness can come from any myriad of sources, joy can only come from one source, and that source is Jesus Christ. That source is knowing. There's this knowing to joy. There's this knowing that is not going to leave, that is not going to fade, that regardless of what comes your way, you can have joy. There's a song in the Bible verse that says, "I get joy when I think about what He's done for me." I can be going through some of the toughest times in my life, and all I have to do is think back about the goodness of the Lord and what He's done for me, and I get joy. Like, joy just springs up in me. It's not temporary. It's there. It's solid. It's there on tap. I can access it at any time. It doesn't leave. It's not going anywhere. It's not fading. I don't have to go out looking for it because it's in me. It's not out there. There's joy. If people could understand the difference between happiness and wanting to be happy and actually having true and lasting joy, that's the difference. That's the game changer. That makes all the difference in the world. Because then we're not out searching for happiness in a bottle or in a sack or in a partner or in a house or in all these temporary and superficial things, but we will have this joy. And to know this joy, this solid rock on which I stand, this joy that is unshakable, that's not going anywhere, that won't never leave nor forsake me, that regardless of what the outside circumstances look like, inside I have joy. Inside I have joy. There's some people who I know of that see me and like, why is this guy always happy? And I'm not by any means always happy, but I do always have joy. Regardless of what's going on in my life, or regardless of what they try to pin on me or whatever I bring on myself, I know that I have this joy that's unshakable.